Okay, so good morning. First thing on Anusha's question. Yeah, Anusha, maybe you ask the question again. It's better. It will be recorded.
If you forget, I will remind.
Maybe, okay, I'll ask the question again from my memory. My question was when we do practical meditation on the cushion, suppose we have a scratch or an itch. You were saying, I think Satinji was saying that Goenka tradition says to basically concentrate on it and then observe that scratch. My question is when we directly perceive it, the subject objects becomes more glued. The eye becomes stronger, isn't it? When the scratch, like the moment when I practice it, let's say there's an itch, it's like that center point goes and gets glued into that. And it's so strong that it's so hard to see the separation. So, and then Vilaschi was saying that Buddha was teaching a way not to have the passa at that very moment. Like, so in a practical sense, how can a meditator, let's say you meditate anapana and then there's a scratch or an itch. How can then what it means is then the scratch has already happened means the passa has happened, the perception has happened, so the eye has risen. It's scratching. So I could feel it. Then how can you not have the passa or how can you detach oneself? This is my question.
Yeah. So I will correct the practical point of view. Uh, the practice is to observe all the sensation without raga dosa. So it is very rarely it will happen. The strong itching sensation. Normally we see a pleasant and unpleasant sensation. In both pleasant and unpleasant sensation, we try to maintain samatha, equanimity. But when the itching sensation stronger is generated, we try to delay. And if it is delayed, it's very difficult. We try to concentrate. And agree. The moment you concentrate, it increases. The pain increases. It's because of your focusing, it is increasing, and it is very true. It will increase, but if you keep watching, it will diminish at its own pace. And when it diminishes, you can see the Uday. Yeah, Vilas.
Yes, good one. So let's take that same example. So now there are three ways of doing it. All the three are valid. First, we'll go by the Ubakin and Goenka technique, which is the most easiest. Is that when that is taken from majorly from Buddha Ghosha's Vishuddhi Magga, in that there is a section where he has written a commentary on how to meditate. And from that, this is taken, which is precisely a good way of doing meditation. So let's understand what is the difference. So first method is that, like what Sachin explained, there are two things which happens. One is that wherever you are focusing, the attention goes there. It seems like you're concentrating, but actually you're not concentrating. The moment you're focused, just like a lens, you take a lens and you focus on something, that increases the size because of that attention. So the pain or the scratch or the itch or whatever that, or heat or throbbing or whatever that at that point in time you are focusing upon, will get so much big, or we can say,
Actually, you can say clarity is increasing. You
yes,
are more vivid.
clarity is increasing, or rather that becomes the biggest one and the remaining becomes the smallest one. Let's put it that way. Okay, now when you do that, it is supposed to bring in the next one, which is manasikara. So in any meditative practice, there are two things. One is you bring in this focus, and one is this manasikara. Now, manasikara is focus and attention, and you get sati, which has mindfulness and awareness, or awareness and mindfulness. So the first thing I need to do is, why am I reacting to situation or to anything at all? Why am I reacting? Because I don't want it. I don't want that situation. Now, how should I teach someone how not to react to situation? It's very easy to say don't react to a situation. So what Ubakin did through Sayadaw is that what is there in Visuddhi Magga, he implemented it properly, saying that, okay, whatever should arise will arise on the body. It can't arise anywhere. So if you are not reacting to this, you will not react to the outside world also. So it takes care of both of them. Because if you focus on the problem, you become aware of the problem in a worldly sense. And Mulaka Sutta teaches that. If you really understand Mulaka Sutta, it keeps on increasing. So it goes to Samadhi. So it becomes Michcha Samadhi also. So what the person is doing is that he is giving a value to the itch. So at that moment, he doesn't want it. So there is an immediate aversion to remove that, or have some pleasurable thing which he wants it. So they both are sankharas. Because you have to prepare something to it. So now I don't like it, so I prepare to scratch it. Now I am having a pleasurable sensation on the body, I want it. I'm expecting more of it, which is again a sankhara. Now, if I want to stop both of them, this way and that way, then I need to remain equanimous. If I want to remain equanimous, observe the pain itself, observe the itch itself, observe whatever is happening, stop the breath, watching the breath, instead watch the itch. You will see that it goes away. It can't stay. So what did you learn? Is that if by not reacting, you have let go of that. So the phassa happened, you are cutting the vedana. So what Goenka ji did is that cutting from a phassa, you require to be an adept meditator. Whereas cutting from vedana is more easy. It's more accessible. So if I follow Goenka teaching in its entirety, it's all about vedana. It's all about sensation. It's all about feeling appearing on the body. So which is a right approach. Absolutely good approach. This is one way of doing it. Then the second is slightly complex than the first method. This is not there in Visuddhi Magga, it is there in the Sutta. This is Sutta way of doing it. Is that what causes what? Okay, so now Chakkuncha Patticha Rupecha Upajjati Chakku Vinnanam. Now what I need to do is investigate the Vinnana. Right, I'm sitting and meditating. A scratch is happening. Instead of just watching it and ignoring it or whatever it is, I really look at that vinnana itself. Because nama rupa nirodho vinnana nirodho. This is that each is a nama rupa. I am putting something to it, that it is each. And hence it gives me a dukkha. Or this is a magnified version of jhana. So it gives me sukha. So what I do is I watch the vinnana. Chakkuncha paticha rupecha upajjati chakku vinnanam, like that. Manancha paticha dhammecha upajjati mano vinnanam. Tinna sangati phasso. So I do animitta of that. Through what? through indriya-samvara. This is a more different way of managing than the Goenka method. Both will lead to the same outcome. Yes.
So when I say I'm doing indriya-samvara and I'm about to scratch, I'm not grasping the limit of scratch,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So what do I do? Now there is no itch like that, and it's imagination, but still.
Now what is that I'm going to do is just bring it like this, and I only feel the heat moving on to one to another. So there is no real scratch feeling.
So you are breaking the perception into its simplified form.
Exactly. So the perception here is hardness and softness and heat and cold. So let's say this is itching here. I just bring like this. So what is happening? Like in explained Kajjini Sutta, is that I'm scratching because like a leprosy patient who is having that, or scabies patient who is having this all the time scratching, he'll sit and heat it up. And there are a lot of suttas where Buddha talks about it. Somebody going and sitting next to the burning coal and he feels very happy because it is giving him that warmth and that scratching feeling is going. Instead of that, I just push it like this. So then after not while, as soon as I finish doing like this, the scratch is itself not there.
So in Goenka technique, what we do is only little part of vipassana we are doing. What we are doing is we are observing with anitya bodh. Anitya bodh means it is impermanent, it is impermanency, it is impermanency, it is increasing, it is decreasing, like that. That is small portion of vipassana we do. But what he is proposing is, why don't you use the more intelligent vipassana which is available in Sutta,
Exactly.
breaking it up.
Yes, Anusha.
I have done a little bit of Goenka meditation, Vipassana, some time ago. I tried that practice when this same itch, for example, Velachi, or the body heat. When you meditate, the whole body would heat it up for me, like fire. And the eye is so strong at that moment. And then I would be patiently waiting to observe, or even the scratch, for example, the itch. Little bit later, if we have patience, then yes, that Sachin ji said, it turns into a little bit of like a vibration in that same spot. You begin then the little vibration, the chalanam, you would say, and then it will evaporate to, it will just go on. But it became more and more, it was unbearable to sort of keep doing it. So I gave up that idea.
Yeah, see, Anusha, there are three ways. I covered only two ways. Okay, so if you take the two ways, Goenka method is more easier and more good for a meditator who is just started on the path, because then if we go on the other one, he should have done the basically indriya-samvara, which means that his yoniso manasikara is so good that he knows that there is no itch, or for that matter any part of the body, any pain or pleasure or whatever it is, he is able to analyze it, or rather investigate it, because he is already in anupassana.
Yeah.
Investigate.
Because many people don't understand.
Yes.
They make meditation painful. Itching itself is a painful. Now
Right.
meditation becomes painful.
Yes.
He is adding one more pain. They
Right.
they don't know vipassana. They don't know Buddha teaching. Only what Goenka tell, and their ability to meditate is very less. Right? They are just beginner in Dhamma, just beginner in vipassana. So they literally follow. And what happens that they are forcing themselves not to scratch, as if they are beating themselves.
Yes. Correct.
Instead of an opportunity to see, they are bidding themselves one more pain they are creating.
Yeah, they are putting an arrow for their mind.
Yeah.
Basically.
So at one point, you have to give it.
Yes.
Just take 2-3 moments of observation. It's a good opportunity, but that doesn't mean you should stop yourself from scratching.
Yes.
That people are not understanding.
Correct. Yeah, Anusha, you have raised your hand in case you had to say something.
That was the earlier one.
Okay. So now let's take these two situations. Situation about Sutta and situation about Goenka. In the Goenka technique, it's a complete sitting meditation. That means you can't open your eyes and do this at all. So the Anitya Bodha, what we are trying to look is the Paticca Samutpanna, is we are looking from closing eyes and sitting for long hours. This is again good for people whose mind is or whose chittas are so distracted everywhere that it is better that they sit in one place. Otherwise, they will not get into anywhere. So, you need to create a environment, separate environment, that is abhisankhara. Then you need to have the sila in that protected environment, just like Jina Panjara. So there is a boundary wall, and all Vipassana meditators from day 1 to day 10 being in that class cannot speak. So then the Vachi Sankhara is cut. The Vachi
You have attended 10-day course or just did it yourself at home?
I did myself at home. Exactly what is
No, Anusha, I'm asking.
Anusha? Okay.
At home too.
Okay.
Through the videos. She would also downloaded the videos and gone through it. So the conclusion of this is that initially when you start and you want to really see the sankharas appearing on the body, that is preparing to scratch, preparing to rub, preparing to move the hand, move the legs, like that. Or I'm intending to do that. Intention in a way brings dukkha. So you're basically looking at the root, mula, kim mulaka avuso sabbe dhamma. Chanda mulaka avuso sabbe dhamma. Now this dhamma is the thing. So the scratching is a thing. The heating up is a thing. Cooling down is a thing. Everything is a thing. It's an object. So the subject object, seeing, watching the subject and the object also gives you nibbana. But this is not the nibbana what it is really to be, because it is conditioned environment. So once you come out of the conditioned environment, you automatically lose all of that, because you no longer closing the eyes, you no longer are protecting through sila. So the samadhi is not there and the panya will not be there. This is the drawback of Visuddhi Magga or the Goenkaji's technique, because you need to be in the retreat all the time, or you need to develop something using that framework. And Goenkaji himself has said that, look, mine is a framework. In the 10 days course is not just everything, it just puts you on the right track. There are a lot of things you need to do, but he doesn't specify what is a lot of things. The lot of things is majorly in the sutta. That is where the meat is, not in the framework. So if I attach to the framework, then I lose the meat. So now what I need to do is, if I come back home from the 10-day retreat, it's very nice environment created. Instead of creating the same environment at home, I need to go to the next step. What's the next step? The next step is to see how to practice indriya-samvara. Because the 5 sila I have already done it in retreat. Now for that I require 2 supporting elements. One supporting element is the jina panjara. Then another supporting element when I am not able to be in sila is the duccharita vipaka sutta. Keep on reflecting. Oh, if this the way I am tackling it, because in the Dveda Vitaka Sutta he explains it. So I can now connect the dots. Okay, so Buddha also faced this problem. I am also facing the same problem. This is taking me to sensuality. This is taking me to a bad way of managing things, and this is a good way. Neither it is helping me nor it is helping others. So lying is not going to help me nor it helps others. Stealing is not going to help me or not help others. Killing is not going to help me nor anyone. Like that I do for all. And you keep on reflecting. That reflection becomes a vipassana object. So what I'm doing is, it says samadhiyami. So what I'm actually doing in real time for the whole day is to practice this sila, which will take me to samadhi. What samadhi is that? That is a samadhi which gets you closer to indriya-samvara. That means now I am ready to try an animitta. Just try an animitta. On what? On the sight or on the sound or the taste or the touch and the smell and the thought. Just don't do any nimitta of that, any conceptualization or any identification about it. So if I do animitta and if I stop describing it, then I can see what I did in Goenkaji's technique of so much of holding on to that observation, focusing it, that is manasikara, and got into the awareness that is arising and passing away. At ease, I can do it without the need for anything all the time. Because I can see the objects coming and going away. I can see the sounds coming and going away. I can see the taste coming and going away. I can see the touch coming and going away. I can see the smell coming and going away. And I can also see the thoughts coming and going away. So this is more profound than the...
Another issue with those kind of meditation is because they are not teaching the real practice. What happens is, for everything the solution is to come back to feedback.
Exactly.
So let's say you got some sensual thought or anger or what. You are not giving opportunity to investigate this mental dhamma.
Correct.
Okay, and you direct to your body senses.
Correct.
In relation to that mental thinking, if you have sensual thought, you have somewhere body sensation. If you are angry, your heart will be pulsing more. So you are diverted to those sensations related to the feeling, related to the thinking. But you are losing the opportunity of doing vipassana on the mental dhamma itself. Because what they say when you go and ask, I am getting this kind of thought. The answer is ignore it, come to body. Ignore it, come to body.
Yes, that's true. So now we can see, this is a framework, good one. I've learned for 10 days. Nothing wrong in that. Now I can start filling up. It's the fillers. So I come to the sutta and have the fillers. So wherever it is empty, now I can fill it up. Nothing to blame anyone, nothing to blame on Buddha Gosa for what he has defined. It's fine. Absolutely good one. So why you should reject something which is good? Take it. So some people cannot understand the earth element. They can't understand. And it's not easy to understand earth element. Na manyana. So you shouldn't have manyana. Now how do I do it? Well, there is patibhagga nimitta in the nimitta itself. So there is a reflective thing. It's just a reflection. So why don't I do a earth kasina? I keep on observing this, not concentrating, observing this, closing the eyes. I should be able to have this iPhone entirely drawn to every detail what I'm seeing. Now it is there. Now I can see that there is no need for that object. This object is already in my memory. So now it becomes easy for me to investigate, because now I can throw this away and take this. Now it has become a mental object. Then I can see that all objects are mentally created, they are not physically out there. So Buddhaghosa is not wrong. But then there's the problem here. They get stuck with that. They don't go on next step. So it just gets one step ahead. Then what's next? You get stuck there. So the difference between the Sutta way and this way is you learn that this is a commentary, or it's a furthermore reading, like what Sachin had shared about the Chuladasa writing about mind illuminated. It's a very good book, but it has no vipassana in that. But
But I still suggest that person who has rigorously done those practices is, and he is open, his opportunity to do Buddha Dhamma and Vipassana is
yes,
more profound than someone who is not doing that kind of stuff.
exactly, I agree. All the 10 steps what he has put there is beautiful. So like I'm saying that somebody should get into the state of Neva Sanya Nasanya Ayatana. To comment that what is this Arya or Anarya. Otherwise we get into this foolish argument that jhana way is not good. It will not lead anywhere. Have you tried? Have you really got into the 9 jhana? Or sorry, 8 jhana? Have you done it? Have you established yourself in the 31st realm? Then you talk. Then it becomes easy. Now I have achieved 8 jhana. I know that rebirth is here. At this stage, the rebirth happens. And hence I'm cutting it. And it makes sense. Just saying that, this is Arya Magga, this is Anarya Magga, Arya, you should go. That is good. But that's intellectualization. It's just not even intellectual, just reading and saying that, I know it. That really doesn't help. So, Goenka method of this takes you till here. Next, what you should do is you should keep that seal of what you have learned in the Goenka technique. That's most important, because 10 days you have literally done that. Now you come back and investigate why this sila. Say we can take Sutta, Anguttara Nikaya 3.60, or we can take, if you want to take a positive one, we can take Anguttara Nikaya 3.70, which is the Uposatta Sutta, or I can take the Duccharita Vipaka Sutta if I want to get a negative. It depends on where my mind is relishing. I take that. And for both of them, I create the Jinapanjara, create an armor. So this section is Buddha, eyes are the Dhamma, and the body is Sangha. So now what I have done is that I have literally donated this whole of myself as a surrender to the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. So now I don't have anything of myself, nothing left, no residue also. That helps me in establishing indriya-samvara. And when I do the indriya-samvara, automatically the sankharas are seen. And now you can tranquilize all the sankharas, Vachi Sankhara, Mano Sankhara, Kaya Sankhara, because you have Sariputta, you have Moggallana, you have Aniruddha, and you also have Kondanya, and all these people being in every part of the body. So it becomes more easy. Now comes to the... Yeah.
Actually, I learned from Vilas very well. Thank you. Just practicing Sila itself is Samadhi, and I practice it. Because when you practice Sila, your nature is to be in Samadhi. It is my inherent nature. Samadhi is my inherent nature.
Correct.
The breaking of Sila was breaking my Samadhi.
Correct.
That I learned first time. So my most of the practice is Sila only.
Yes, that will take you to Samadhi. We don't do anything extra of sitting somewhere. Oh, yeah, today I want to meditate, so I'll sit here like this. I'm sitting. We have come without Sila. It's going to break.
Whole day I was wasting lot of time. in watching videos, this and that. That I stopped, and now I have lot of time, full day. What to do? I would stay in samadhi.
Yeah. So the samadhi happens, automatically you get the panya. So this is the second method. What's the third method? This you can do once you are sure you are an anagami. What's the third method? Third method is dithe mattam. Simple. First one. Dhite mattam. No vinnana coming there. Sute mattam. No vinnana coming there. Mute mattam, which includes the touch, the smell, and the taste. Vinyate mattam. So some object comes, you just like this. And you can see like a mirror. You are the mirror. The objects are arising and going away. You don't have anything to do with it. That's a profoundest experience you can get at once. Yes.
Actually, I have a question on detailed. Can you finish? I will ask later.
Okay. So now what happens? Your hairs will start standing up like what is happening to me. That you are in that state forever. Meaning, it looks so real that the car is coming, almost hitting you. But it is on the screen, not on you. That fear, that will go away. Because you are watching what? Like this. You are watching only a reflection. There's nothing out there. All the call outs we are doing is just a reflection. There's no person out there. So what happened to Bahya happens to you. And if it happens to you permanently, which has not happened to me permanently as yet, then Arahat. Now you're done. Because you got what you wanted out of Dhamma. That is, the mithya is removed. At the very moment, Nibbidha has happened, so Viraga happens and Nirodha happens. It's like dominoes. One hits the other, and the other, and other. Then you are at peace. So the first step is Goenka. The second step with the Sutta. The third step, remove both. You got it. There's no other thing to get it. So using the Sutta, you get an anagami state. Then it's your practice, because now you've learned. It's shortfall is in implementation. So you implement. When you implement, you know you've implemented. When you have implemented, you will not fall. When you don't fall, there is no rebirth. And you know that rebirth is ended. Because the mirror reflection is the one which is creating bhava. There's no jati, because there's no bhava. So, what was getting aged and decayed and dead was the reflection, and you have nothing to do with it. But don't take it that there's a atta bhava remains and the remaining goes away. No, that is wrong. There is nothing there. That is the void you get. So, what you get is three things for yourself. Animitta, which you have practiced, taken it to anagami, that remains. Apanihita, this is what Arahat happens. And then the Shunyata. That pulling off is a relief. So you have laid out all the burden into a place. And if they ask this question, will you exist or not exist? Or both exist or don't exist? What answer can you give about a reflection? Does it exist? It depends on the condition. Absolutely. Reflection has no reality by itself. As long as there is something to reflect, the reflection is going to be there. So as long as you give food, that is going to be there. First knowledge dawned on you. That is, Paticca Samutpada is completed, completely understood, uprooted from your mind of the loma. You have understood the patiloma. Avijjayatveva asesa viraga nirodho sankhara nirodho. Avijja nirodho, sankhara nirodho. Sankhara nirodha, like that, vinnana nirodha. So you literally can see. The vinnana which is appearing here no longer torments. So when it no longer torments, there's nothing else out there. There's no namarupa. Now you can't say, I was in the past, I am present now, I will exist in the future. Because what does a reflection have? Nothing. If I move away from this place, the reflection itself is gone. So when everybody used to ask the Buddha, where does Arahat go after death? His classic answer is, where does a lamp go after it is burnt out? Why? Same thing. I get out of this place. The screen remains. There is no coming, there is no going, because fuel ending, that's it. So no more vinnana. This is third method. For this, you need to be an anagami. You will literally experience it. Your body will start to shake looking at this. Oh, all this while I was reacting to the reflection only, when there was no real person at all. That state is nibbana, because it's unbound. There's nothing which it can take over or can be taken over. When nothing can be taken over, then nothing can be experienced. When there's nothing can be experienced, there's nothing as an experiencer. So the subject object is completely removed at once. So then you become bahya.
In fact, we may not reach that state, but even prior to that stage, this is my experience. This practice is not more required, no much effort builds. Because of Sila, I am in Samadhi, and I can feel that. And because of Samadhi, there is a pleasure of Samadhi.
Yes.
When I compare the pleasure of going out to the pleasure of Samadhi, it's like 10 rupees comparing to 100 rupees.
Yes, absolutely.
So naturally, my tendency is to not go out because I am losing my pleasure.
Yes, exactly.
So then this practice is easy. Otherwise, this practice is theoretical and very.
Yes. So the basic thing what you will get to learn is that no matter whatever is coming, it's all coming on the screen of consciousness, not on consciousness. Just on the screen. Everything appears on the screen. It looks real. And there is no real thing out there. So that you know, that is at Anagami, you know, this is Samuchi Satcha. This is Paramatta Satcha. You literally can see it. This is Rupa. This is Chitta. This is Chetasika. And this is Nibbana. These are the three states of doing whatever we are doing. So we can take Goenka technique, beautiful technique, nothing to talk negative about it or hating it or giving 100 different, or even Buddha Gosa for that matter. Buddha Gosa's way of looking it was from a Vedic perspective. It's not he did anything wrong by bringing some of the good concept of the Vedic or the Vedas, or rather he brought into existence the Mandukya Upanishad way of doing it, which is beautiful. But we don't have any right to blame Buddha Gosa, and majorly his interpretations are always they are not precise, because he couldn't understand the depth of Buddha teaching. So he started looking at from what he has learned or what he knows, and he was a knower of the Vedas, so he immediately picked up that and looking at this is what I know. So what Buddha says is the same. There is a gap between what Buddhaghosa says and what Buddha says, but yet it is still profound. It will at least take you to 8 jhana, for sure. It will make you at least a minimum Sotapanna for sure. It will make you a Sakadagami for sure. I'm not too sure about getting into Anagami, but these two, it will make you, because it's from Buddha teaching only. So you should get the benefit of it. Even if you were to follow 100% Buddhaghosa, you should be able to get till here, which is fair. It's a fair deal. And if I follow Goenka technique or Ubakin technique, Sotapanna is guaranteed. So in whichever way, I have ended up going down, which I should be very happy. So rebirth of human is going to be there, or Deva is going to be there. That is immaterial. So what have I achieved? I have achieved going into the apayas. I need to be so grateful to Ubakin and Goenka for bringing it, especially Goenka to bring it into India. The place where they had forgotten all about Buddha teaching, bringing it back and making it popular, and also in the West, he made it popular, is great. His dana is somewhat uncomparable. It is good. Nothing against VRI, nothing against Goenka or whatever it is. It's the best thing that could happen. But that is stage 1. If you were to put a stage, it's a stage 1. Then you go to stage 2. Then you know you have achieved Anagami for sure, for yourself. Yes, this is Anagami, not that you have to go by whoever says it. You can refer the Sutta, you can know for yourself, yes, there's no doubt, this is Anagami. And again taking the Sutta route. If we practice, then we get into Arahat. Same technique, no different in technique, because the Sila is so established that you don't require Sila any longer. Your Samadhi is so established, your Samadhi also you can throw it out. All that is Panya, which you start getting. And hence you stop reacting. So what I learnt in Goenka technique, in not reacting to this pricking sensation or heat or cold or whatever that is, observe anicca, has helped me when I get into Arahat. But that's not a path complete in its own respect. Learn this, move to the Sutta, because you have a proof. What else proof is required? You have a proof. You can go through it yourself and say, this I understood, not understood. Like in the case of Maharahulavada Sutta. You know for yourself, this is Pathavi, this is Apo, this is Tejo, this is Vayu, this is Akasa. And then you know how you should remain in this world. Earth, be like earth. Don't worry about somebody's cleaning it, somebody's spitting on it. That means don't go to both extremes. Now in a sitting meditation, that's not possible. How can you experience earth when you're sitting? Because my observation is only on that nostril area or wherever that sensation is happening. So now when I come, I focus, that is manasikara. When I put the focus, the attention comes. When the attention comes, it increases the magnitude of that whatever I am observing. Then I am coming into sati, awareness. I am getting aware of this pain or heat or itching sensation or whatever sensation. But what I am supposed to be manasikara about? The dhammas. What I should be of sati about? The dhamma. Sabbe dhamma nanam abhinivesaya is one way of seeing it. Otherwise, yena hi manyati tato tam hoti anyatha. This is the second way of seeing it. And the third way of seeing is yam kinchi samudaya dhammam sabbam tam nirodha dhammam. 3 ways of seeing it. And when I really see yam kinchi samudaya dhammam sabbam tam nirodha dhammam in all the situations, then I see, rear view mirror, not real. how I was fooled in every life trying to catch this person. Then that tear will roll on Aneka Jati Samsaram Sandhavisam Aninbisam, because you're seeing the reflection and taking it to be yourself. So it's a very, what I can say, it's a touchy, it's a real emotional outburst which will happen because it's a foolish thing. I want to be a good father, good brother, good sister, good this, good that, good citizen. Everything is just a sankhara. There's nobody there. And nobody will be there also. And it's only dukkha. When this object is removed from the screen of consciousness, obviously I cry. Because I lost the wife or the husband or the son or the daughter, which was never there in the first place. This is the third method, is Arahat. Second method will take you to Anagami. First method will take you to Sotapanna and Sakadagami. So that's my take on this sanni. Three kinds of sanni, perceptions. Okay, any questions?
Yeah, so if Anusha has no question, I'll ask.
Yeah, we'll just ask her. Anusha, you have any question? Otherwise, Sachin has a volley of questions.
Okay, from my point, no. Thank you. Vilasji explained very clearly.
Yeah. So, my question is the second, somewhere you said animikta, right? So, when you say, wait, my question is on dite metta.
That is the third.
Yeah, that is third. And when you say animikta, it's both same thing or different?
Animitta is the second one in the sense that what is nimitta? Symbolization. When you're doing indriya-samvara, the symbolization starts to drop off. Okay, so let's say, I'll tell you how. Now I have practiced this, so now I come. Now I'm sitting, okay, and I'm watching. What am I watching? The breath. Go by the anapana sati katha. Okay. In that there is a section, a beautiful section by Sariputta. He gives an example how you should do it also. There's a tree you're cutting. Just watch the touching. Hassa. Not the tree, nor the saw touching it. Not the saw moving it like this. Just a touch. If you have practiced it perfectly in the nostril, you will take the touch and remove everything else, and then the nimitta is gone.
Now, when nimitta is gone, you have reached dite metta, no?
Wait. That for that another set has to happen. See, the state between the anagami and arahat is that the rupa jhana, arupa jhana catches. So we will come to that because your jhana is so good that you get caught up in that. Okay, and hence the mana. And the restlessness to achieve arhat is there, and avijja still remains. Five higher, that's the reason it's called higher fetters. Out of the 10 sanyojana, they are the higher one. They're not easy to break. Even though I think it's very simple. No.
Can I say animitta is part of practice, but dite mittam is not?
It will take you to dite mattam. This animitta will take you to dite mattam.
Yeah, when everything is dite mittam, whereas animitta is this breath.
Yeah, your breath. So what is happened is I learned from Goenka. Goenka says that 4 days anapana. Yes, sir. Anapana. Only in this nostril area, near the lips and the above the lips, on the lips or wherever. Yes, sir. Can I watch it with my eyes open? The nimitta will go away. That's the first step of the practice of animitta. You'll get so distracted. If you try it out, just open the eyes, do the same thing what you were doing.
Now I can do, but I understand.
Yes. So then when we practice it, you will start feeling only the touch, not the breath, only the touch. Slowly you will find the nimitta is fading off, breath, replaced by touch only.
I completely agree.
Okay, then when I do that, what happens? Eyes are touching something, ears are touching something, nose is touching something, tongue is touching something, body is touching something, mind is touching something. Observe the touch. That's just observation. So you are touching. Anusha is touching. Just the touching. No feeling, just the touching. So when I practice this touching, I can follow the Vedana. It's a fabricated one. It's not a real Vedana because it's dependent on the touch. Now I picked it. So every nimitta is a touch. Unless you describe the touch, there is no happiness, there is no unhappiness. It's actually equanimity because there is just the touch. And in the Puttamamsasutta, what he says, phassa ahara. If you read that section in a proper way, cow, totally skinned off with flesh, it goes on the northern quarter. All the flies will come and what's happening? Healing. Because touch, that fly sitting on the skin creates that touch. And the cow doesn't want it. So it goes on the southern side. Then it goes on the eastern side. Then it goes on the western side. No matter which side it goes, these insects start eating it. And that is the ahara. Phassa ahara. Now I can just read that section and leave it. This I understood. No. Go deeper. On the same skin, on the same eyes, on the same ear, on the same, all are pasada rupa. They are reflective surfaces. It comes, it falls. The phassa. Phassa creates Vedana. What is Vedana? Sukha Vedana, Dukkha Vedana, Dukkha Sukha Vedana. Beautifully I can say. But I have not understood the Vedana. Phassa Samudaya, Vedana Samudaya. If there were no Phassa, there is no Vedana. That's a profound experience in the second set than the first one. If I compare between the Goenka and the second one, here I can be whatever I am doing, talking here, walking, eating, sleeping, bending, urinating, at every step, because my sila is strong, I don't have to worry about sila any longer. Now I am only looking at indriya-samvaras. That turns itself into indriya-samvarena sila. The sila which is in the indriya itself.
Yeah, it's part of you. It has become,
Yes.
it has engrossed in you.
Yes, so the sila is engrossed. That means you are in samadhi. So what panya do I get out of it? I get the samvara panya, which literally transforms itself into almost a state of dite dite mattam, sute sute mattam, mute mute mattam.
So, in the same way, I can say that when animitta meditation is engrossed in you, now everything become animitta,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
no practice is needed.
Yes.
Then it is dite dite mattam.
Yes.
It's a
So then,
level beyond animitta. It's one more level of animitta.
yes, one more level of animitta. So then you have animitta brings in up apanihita, desirelessness, because you will desire something if there were a nimitta. If you don't have a nimitta, what would you desire out of it? There is nothing to be desired. If I see this hole in the nose, what is there to desire there? It's a hole. How many holes I can have? As many holes as everybody has. So now I know there is no person to be taken up. So having done that, it's such a peaceful existence.
Okay, so not only animitta, but you are supposed to be a state in which desirelessness is also there, and there is total disenchantment, no interest at all in any object.
Correct.
That
Correct.
is disconnection.
Yes, yes.
You are bored. You are bored of seeing it.
Yes, you are bored of seeing it. So, like Sariputta says, it's such a pain. You'll start to see every moment is a pain of seeing like this, seeing front, seeing back. It's such a painful experience. It's just like what that cow is experiencing. Yes, Anusha.
So if I understand it correctly, the ditte cannot be observed correctly by a Sotapanna, right?
No,
That is beyond the
no, beyond Sakadagami also. Even if he's a person in Sakadagami, he cannot understand this.
If we attempt now, it is a forceful attempt.
Yeah, it's like I asking you see the screen. Do you?
forceful. Yes, forceful.
No, I'll give you a very practical example. Anusha, you put on your mobile camera, not now, after this class. Try to see whether you can see without you. You can force it out, but you can't do that. Because there is a deeper attachment of you in that rupa. So even a Sakadagami cannot do it.
Remember, Vilasji, I was telling you about this group photo. I was trying to see exactly. When you look at from the group photo, your eyes immediately goes to you, basically.
Yes.
And in that instant, there is a stirring in your heart center. There is a little bit of that emotional sort of an energy field that is happening. It's quite obvious. And then I shift the eyes to another friend. Then that emotion is not there. So you can see the grasping very clearly.
Yes, and another thing is that everyone searches himself in a dead pile. The photo is a dead pile, but then the first intention is to establish. That is vinnanam anidasanam, it has become nidasana. That is in the photo, it is established. So the first thing the vinnana does is to establish, to give a feel that I am there. And then everything starts. So the nimitta has already happened. So animitta is watching the photo as a photo. Like the animitta here, as I'm talking, is I'm seeing only the holes everywhere. But that's the reason I keep on watching the camera. Because I don't have anything other than looking at these holes. And the eyes also has holes.
And not only that, there are a lot of logic of your eyes to catch objects. I was saying when we were together, I was saying when I was just scanning the crowd, I was seeing women more vividly.
Correct.
I told
Absolutely.
you.
Absolutely.
So everyone has different priority at subconscious level, and depending on that priority, objects are vivid or not vivid.
Exactly. So basically, first you put the manasikara. When you put manasikara, it becomes vivid. It means it comes closer to you. So you will observe what you want to observe and drop off those that you don't want to observe. Here at an anagami, there is no differentiation between the near one and the far one. So that is atita anagata pachuppanna ajhatta bahida olarika sukuma hina panita santike dure. All you have surpassed. So you're closer to Arahat in that way. And when you really have this experience of ditte mattam, everything stops. Because it's appearing on the screen. There's no person coming, no person going.
So I have another question if Anusha has not.
Yeah, Anusha, you're done with it, and Sachin has.
Yeah.
Yeah, so next question was on same ditthya but because you brought it, so I am asking it now. So ditthya is almost naiva sanya, na sanya, or
Beyond that.
no sanya sanni, beyond asanya sanni.
Beyond, it is complete, closed. That is why, yeah, there is one sutta to say who is Arahat, who is not an Arahat, and start with that only.
Okay, even animitta is beyond jhana. So this is even beyond animitta. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so animitta, so jhana, animitta, then ditthya.
Then you are seeing the things they are. Here, animitta is you are doing something out of it. Yet doing something out of it.
Okay, and then my next question is this. In Malukya, to the Malukya, the same thing has been told by Buddha, but more descriptively. To Bahya, it is just told, ditthya matlab. Whereas to Malukya, he has added this. Tattva tvam Malukya putta nate. You won't be by that. And if you won't be by that, when you are not by that, then you are not in that. It is almost look like na sanya sanni, but can you explain that?
Yes. See, the thing is, it is also there in Bahya Sutta. The same words are used.
Okay, it is.
Okay. Natena, not this. Take this screen for example. Natena. Are you this screen? No. Are you apart from the screen? No. Are you within the screen? No. Are you out of the screen? No. You got the point. These are 4 ways of negating it.
So what is trying to say when ditthya mattam is there?
Wait.
You are not in that, you are not by that.
No, you tell me the sutta number. I'll read it.
S 35.93.
SN. Right.
Or I can speak.
No, it's okay. No, I got it as 35.93.
Yeah.
It is the Dutiya Dvaya Sutta is what I got. Same one, is it?
Yeah, but to malum kya this is.
But it is with Channa.
Or Bahia is SNP 4 dot something, right? 4 dot.
No.
Or I can type it.
No, I got it. It is MN64.
Whatever. But for me it was this at 35.93. Okay. SN 35.95. Sorry. 95.
Which one?
35.95.
35.
Only these 2 guys have been told this sentence. It's malum kya and it's Bahia. Bahia, he told directly. But to malum kya, he has added lot of more stuff.
See, yattachate malunke putta dhitta sutta muta vinyatabbesu dhammesu dhitte dhitta mattam bhavisati sute suttam mattam bhavisati mute muttam bhavisati vinyate mattam bhavisati. That means once you are watching the screen like this, not you. Yato khote malunke putta dhitta sutta muta vinyatabbesu dhammesu dhitte dhittam bhavisati sute suttam bhavisati mute muttam bhavisati vinyata mattam bhavisati tato tvam malukya putta natena, not this. That is, you are not from this or you are not that. Can you see? That's the reason I asked this question. Is the screen you? Is that when you are dhite mattam sute mattam mute mattam vinyate mattam? Is this you, the screen?
In short, can I say you are not creating relation with the object?
No, that is an explanation part of it. Let's stick to this question. Are you this? Obviously not. When you, yatotvam malukiputta natena, by that. This is also not there. Not only that is there, this also is not there. Yatotvam malukiputta natena, tatotvam malukiputta natat. You cannot find yourself in that. When here itself is not there, there is out of question, no? When you are not in that, yatotvam tvam malukiputta natat, tatotvam malukiputta na vidha, na huram, na ubhayam antare. Neither here nor there nor in between.
Like not no object, no subject.
Yeah. Yes. And this is the end of suffering. The difference between the Vedanta and this one is, in Vedanta you learn how to drop the pots but keep the clay. Here Buddha is saying there is no clay, no pot. Simple. Okay, so let's do one thing. Tomorrow I am not there, so I'll message it. For tomorrow through Saturday I am not there. So we'll meet up on Saturday and then we'll continue this sutta, Malunki Putta Sutta. Okay, good day to you then. Yeah, bye-bye.